in any public group setting, you get that swept up thing.
Yeah, well, certainly, like if if you're like in a, I'll just use our obviously town for an example. You're in a Husker bar, and a Huskers are playing a big game, and it's coming down, and there's a game-winning play, and you're surrounded by other fucking men and women in Husker gear, and like there's and I've been in this situation, I'm sure you have too, many, many times. The bar erupts. People just fucking start screaming like grown-ass men who are otherwise just the most stoic, reserved, conservative, moderate fucking Nebraskans you could imagine. Fucking hooting and howling, red-faced, dudes jumping up, chest bumping.
Right.
You're high-fiving total fucking strangers.
And I'll say this.
That's lovely.
Drinking is involved, but that's not because of drinking.
That's not the reason.
That is not. There's plenty of people that in the stadium and stuff, they get up, they're loud as fucking. They're not all drunk. In fact, like, a lot of people, especially stadiums like for a college university, like there's college kids and shit like that.
Oh,
but no, we're not talking about those. No. We're talking about 55-year-old dudes who have bad knees and bad backs, and they're fucking just screaming, holding this sign.
And you ask, why do people love sports? Sports are so fucking stupid, and on some level, sure, I guess.
Sports ball.
They're frivolous. They're games.
But
people can fucking let themselves go. People can fucking think of a 55-year-old fucking guy who's just like fucking pretty reserved and like constrained emotionally, just to be able to have a moment where you just scream at the top of your lungs, enjoy. Like, how many other opportunities do most people get to do that? To connect with a total stranger, to hug a total fucking random other guy in the bar, and to like jump up and down like you're a kid again. Yeah, of course people love sports.
Well, and the thing is, I would say two things. And actually going back to the universe stuff, sorry folks, but this is like, I think of sports, why it's so popular is because it is a finite universe where what makes it so enticing, because unlike anything else in life, there's points that are tangible, there's lines, there's parameters, there's all this stuff. Like, you go back to, like, anything in life is usually not measured that way. And the things that we pursue and the passions we have it's very even. And I would actually contend that the frivolousness of it is what makes it so compelling, because it's just something that people can all pour into, because it's just like, you could talk about the left ideologies or right ones or stuff like that, but we're just rooting this team. We want them to score points.
It's low stakes.
It's low stakes, but that's why it feels high stakes. Is because everybody can commence in it. There's not going to be disagreements in a sense, because you want your team to win, and this is how they win.
Absolutely.
And they could argue like they shouldn't have started that quarterback or stuff like that, and they'll get heated about that too.
Yeah.
But the idea, I think, is because it's like this canvas you have. It's a blank canvas. It doesn't mean anything. You just fucking Jackson Pollock paint away. And I think the idea that it doesn't have meaning lets you just go all out into it without worrying why.
Absolutely. And yeah, it taps into like a deep tribal element in the human psyche. It's a sublimation of tribal warfare. It's like this team versus that team.
Yes.
Our local guys versus those local guys. But the stakes, unlike tribal warfare where people fight and die, is very low. So it's sublimated into a way that can function in a stable society. So yeah, it taps into deep elements within human nature for sure. But the other version of this question, the answer is I do get swept up in concerts. In the same way that I'll find myself like weeping at a protest because of the communality. I'll find myself weeping at concerts, in part because of the communality, but also because of the aesthetic experience.
It's really weird because it's Jimmy Buffett. He's like bawling his eyes out.
Yeah,
cheeseburger.
Only concert I go to is Jimmy Buffett concerts.
Cries every time.
But Neva Denova, last year I took my kids and my wife, and they played Lonely Heart. You can look it up if you guys want. And we were stage side. Literally, my hand is on the stage with my children in a pretty small, intimate concert. And that song already gets me for some reason. I've cried like almost every time I listen to it, just weeping. And then we went to Minneapolis, St. Paul. Me and my wife did to see a Seawolf concert. And it was a small venue. And he was without a band. He was just a guitar and him. And he was singing some of his fucking classics that I love. And I quit weed back in January, and I've been still sober on that.
Nice.
But I wanted to use it in very specific celebratory events, and nothing better than a concert.
Right.
So I got a 10 milligram edible. It's legal there, and I was drinking some beers, and then the edible hit just right, and I like closed my eyes, dude, and you just like feel the vibration of the music. If you can really let yourself go, you feel the vibration of the music move through you, and the lyrics are just speaking to you and hitting you just right.
Wasting away in Margarita.
exactly. And it moves me, and there is something communal about it. In all these instances, what is the common denominator? Protests, concerts, sports games. You lose yourself. You transcend your individual ego self-consciousness, at least for a moment, in aesthetic release, in the sense of a concert, in communal struggle in the sense of a protest, or in communal joy and celebration in the sense of celebrating a sports victory with other people. But your individual inhibited self, right? The self-consciousness melts away into something larger. And it is a small microdose. It's a hit of ego transcendence. You are in that moment a part of something bigger than yourself. You lose the boundaries between you and everything else, slips away just for a split second, and you feel this extreme emotion that arises in the absence of a fully self-contained, ego identity. And so I think that's what these communal experiences allow, and that's why they're ubiquitous in every single culture. Every culture has political protest. Every culture has music. Every culture has sports. And all through history.